Simple Speed Athletics, we're back with another video. This video based on me, why I became a coach and how I became what I am and how I started my business and brand. And hopefully this video will show everybody a reason to be a coach if they're on the teetering edge of it, or if they're trying to look for somebody that a trustworthy person to be a mentor toward them, whether training and whatnot. Before we go through this, like, share, subscribe, give it to your mama, give it to your daddy, give it to whoever you can think of that might benefit from this page, my Instagram, my Twitter, my just YouTube. Right here. In 1, 2, 3, we about to get it. This in particular video is kind of it's a little bit touchy to me. So many things happened to me that made it to the point where I had to think about this process, and I never thought I would become a coach. I was always an athlete that never really meshed with a lot of my coaches. I was a hard-headed athlete. I was a hard-headed student. Everything that you can think of, that was me. Never in my mind did I ever say, hey, I'm going to be a coach when I grow up. Maybe if I was an athlete, that's what it was going to be, but it never came across that I was going to be a coach to anybody. So it became down to the point where I got my Eagle Scout, and it's always been a list of things that I wanted to do, and the things that never changed on my list of things that I wanted to do when I grew up. You know, the things that I want to do when I grow up, that was one of the things that never changed. Like, sports never changed, helping people never changed, and just giving back to my community. That being said, once I became an Eagle Scout, once I got out the Army, these things were still instilled in me, and I still wanted to do these things. So the first thing I did was I ended up helping a youth track team. And I always just thought it was going to be one of those things where I just was out there and I was just helping people, like, okay, cool, I'm helping kids out. They're like little kids, like they're like 15 and under, whatever. And I never thought that I had this innate ability to connect with people and to actually share what I had. I didn't even realize I had as much knowledge as I had until I put it out there into the world. You know how, like, you think you have this in you, but you don't really know? It came to a point where I would have kids coming up to me. I think I have this soft spot. They'll just come up, they'll just be crying. They'll be like, oh my God, like I'm stressing. And I know that stress, that tension that you have in your soul when you know you can do better, or you don't feel like you did as good as you can do. But when it comes down to the point where you have this 7-8-year-old kid that's bawling their eyes out, it's the thing that grabs you. Like, everything you do, you learn a lesson, you take that lesson, and you apply it to your next race. So no matter what you're doing and going through in your life, you have to take that lesson and you have to use it. If you don't use it, the only person that you can blame is yourself. Every time you touch a track, every time you do something new, you have to be able to account for yourself and say, like, okay, I took this lesson and I learned from this, and this is what I did. Now, from being a 24-year-old and I'm coaching kids, and it came to a point where I was asked to help a high school, still 24 years old, and not even knowing if I wanted to do this or if I was really going to be good at this particular thing, I ended up meshing with the high school kids, fit right in. It wasn't like one of the things I had to force myself to do, them taking the instructions of what I was telling them to do. Because I've trained with many people, like Coach Larry Wade. Like, that's probably one of the most influential people that I've ever trained with, and that stuck with me. Like, just his coaching style in general has really stuck with me. So it helped me with a lot of things that I was doing. So when I actually was training with these kids, they all took to it so well. And this program, it was kind of like on a down kilter type thing. At the point when I first came in, it was like I wasn't supposed to have this high hope for this school or what I was doing. But at the end of the year, once I had this one kid, Corey, I'll go ahead and throw it out. My boy Corey was my first state champ I've ever had. Nobody really had this faith in him. And I've told whenever I have an athlete, I've always given them like this premonition, like this, like, you're gonna be a champ, bro. Like, if you feed into what I'm giving you, you're gonna be a champ. If you just listen to what I'm giving you, and it puts pressure on me at the same time, because if I give you this, I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to be the one that said, well, I told you were gonna do this, you didn't, it's my fault. I don't want to be a liar. So I do everything in my power to make sure that this person makes this premonition come true. That's how I feel about anybody that I train, anybody that I give advice to. I don't want my premonition to not come true. I don't want to let you down. Anything that I've learned in my life, I want to make sure that anybody that I train or work with doesn't go through the same things that I've gone through, or the heartaches that I've gone through, whether it be an injury. And I will say this to this day, right now, from 24, I'm 26 now. I've never had a single athlete that was injured. Under my watch, I've never had one. So that's something that means a lot to me. When it comes to practice, I make sure that all my athletes are taken care of health-wise, mentally-wise, and to make sure that they're locked in on what they have to do. My first state champion, Corey, bro, he took to that. They tried to change his events. They tried to take him out the 100, everything he was doing to put him in long jump, just because they felt you might have a better chance at this. You might want to do something else. And I was like, yo, like, let him run the 100. Like, I didn't want him to just have to throw. This is his last year, senior year. So I'm like, I don't want him to throw this away into hoping for something that he's never even done. He's never done a long jump. So you're just trying to teach him this in the last 2 weeks. It's about to be state. Why are you going to do that to him? So he does it. We get to the regionals. Boom, pops through it. We cool. We get to state. Gets all the way to state. The final meet, bro. Like, everybody's like he's not supposed to be here. Like, this is not something that's supposed to happen. And when I tell you, when he won that, bro, that was probably one of the happiest moments of my life. And even it was happier than a moment that I ever ran track. It was a happier moment than any record I ever broke. Anything that I ever done. It felt so good to know that I helped somebody else reach a goal that they were trying to achieve. And I cared more about that person's happiness than I did mine. And that's when I kind of figured, like, this is probably something that I'm more fit for than anything else that I can possibly think of outside of any situation. So I basically made this into this is going to be my business. I'm going to gear this toward everybody else. Anybody who wants my help will get my help, and I will promise you that you have my help. If you ask me, you have my help. And then I ventured on, like, with my older kids when I transferred to another school. It was a little rocky. There's a whole bunch of stuff that was going on, but at the beginning, I told all of them, I was like, yo, this is going to be your year. You're going to be champions. Like, regardless of whatever's going on, you're going to be champions. And they can all attest to this. If you ever ask any of them, you ever talk to any of them, I attested this. Like, before the season even started, first intramurals, bro, I told every single one of them, you listen to me and you feed into the process. You do what you have to do. There's not excuses, anything you want to, like, put in between and say, like, well, this is why I can't do this is why I can't do this. If you do what you're supposed to do, I promise you're going to be champions. I promise you're going to be a state champion by the end of this year. I promise you're going to break some records. I promise you. I said that to him. And before I decided to do my own little thing in the middle of the year, I still made sure that anybody who wanted my help was able to reach me and come out to me like, yo, I want you to help. Cool, that's fine. And I made sure I stayed on my promise. Miles, Devin, Victory, Cody, Derek, state champions. And I made sure I kept that promise. And it means so much to me that people feed into what I'm giving them. Because it's easy to have somebody tell you what they can and can't do and not really know or trust what they're saying, but to, like, okay, I give you my all. I'm giving you this. I'm just hoping that you don't throw it back in my face and I don't regret this. That has basically been, I go around to everything that I do for my business. Sinful Speed is basically a place for anybody who has it's become a thing for anybody, if that makes sense. We're for everybody, but everybody isn't for us. That makes sense. That makes sense. If you're willing to put the work in, you're more than welcome to come here. If you're afraid of putting in work, if you're afraid of throwing up, if you're afraid of giving up a day that you might supposed to be going on a date, or you're supposed to do whatever you're supposed to do, we're not for you. I need 100% of what you want to do to become that great person. I've never had an athlete that didn't get a full ride scholarship. All my athletes have all had full ride scholarships. Anybody that's been under my name, Sinful Speed Athletics has always had full ride scholarships across the board. And I want to make sure that no athlete, no person that comes through here has to worry about that. And I don't want you to have to worry about $1,000 worth of tuition, eating, and whatever you have to go through. And then you have to worry about your sport. That's a lot. That's stress. That's a lot on your plate. And I don't want anybody that's an athlete of mine to have to worry about that. But this is basically what I am. This is basically what we are. We are Sinful Speed Athletics. We are the new evolution. We are the new generation. And that's what I want to bring to Vegas. This is what I want to bring to track and field as a whole in the sport. And I don't want that to die. I don't want track and field to be like one of these things like we're still a baby sister to all these other sports, because every sport needs us. If you don't have speed, you're not a good, like, football players. If you're not fast, you're like, come on, bro, like, you need that. Like, running backs, wide receivers, anything like that, you're gonna need us. You need speed. Soccer, baseball, people don't think about these outside aspects of things that go on. This is what we are. This is what I am. This is how I created this brand, and I just hope that in the long run I'm able to help as many people on this earth, in this city, in this country, around this world, that I can. That's just what I want to be able to do. And that's how I started coaching, is because I began to realize that there are more people in this world that really need what I have to offer. Regardless if I seen it immediately or not, I noticed that there are people who need what I have to offer. And there are people who are taking advantage of the people who need what I have to offer, but they're giving them a deception package and saying that I have what you need, but I really don't really grasp what you're needing. And once they don't get what that person is exactly needing, and like you're at that age where you're supposed to be going to college or whatever it is, and then once they don't have anything, it's just like, well, I got your money from you, so good luck. And I don't want that to happen to anybody, especially everybody that comes through my path. I want everybody to succeed and go as far as possible. As far as you want to go, that's where I want everybody that comes through my program to go to. So that is my story on why and how I started coaching. I appreciate you for for listening to this. But yeah, so this is it. Thank you so much. Share, like, subscribe. I'm going to start uploading a lot more to this channel because I kind of slacked on it. I had a lot of traveling and going on that was going on, and it was just a little bit hectic. Down below in the comments, go ahead, put me something that you guys want me to talk about. If you guys want, like, anything has to do with form, it has to do with workouts, anything that you want me to talk about, go ahead and put it in the comments below, and show it to your mama, show it to daddy, show your dog, grandma, neighbors next door, show it to your boss, whoever, you know. Don't like, yo, bro, what's happening? But no, appreciate you guys, and we out. Appreciate you.